Hello, good people of the internet. This is Jaleel, and this is actually my first ever video. I thought today I'd cover the ongoing situation with the whole Cruel World Happy Mind situation that's going on. Now, if you don't know anything about this, Cruel World Happy Mind is a creator that decided to make a commentary video going over Ethan Klein's career and why people aren't big fans of him. Now, this video has been clowned to shit because it's fucking awful. Like, she uses only like this snark community. Now, if you don't know what the snark is, it's like basically people going after Ethan Klein because they plain don't like him and they'll go use anything that they have against him. And this is kind of important to remember because For World Happy Mind claims to be this great video essayist who does a bunch of research, but realistically she only really used stuff that was badly researched, and not everyone's a big fan of it. And you think that at least the people she's pandering to in this video, which is the Ethan Snar community, as I said, the people that really don't like him, so she literally panders to them the entire video. This is a video hating on Ethan, and they didn't like it either. That's another problem. Like, not only did she make a bad video from the perspective of people that would probably, tend to be on Ethan's side, she also made a bad video from the perspective of people that really don't like Ethan, like that being the Snark community, because it's almost like too neutral for them, like for their perspective. Like, she's not harsh enough with the terminology she uses. And there's also some stuff with bad empanada that, I'm gonna go over. Now, she made two videos. The first one being the original 3-hour documentary slash video essay, whatever she wants to call it. It's the 3-hour slot video of her repeating snark talking points. And then after this, she made an apology. And now this apology was called "I Messed Up to You, Hassan, and Ethan Klein." Now this this video, like already the title, it just makes me laugh. Like, not only has she prioritized Hassan, who, obviously, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was a critic of the video, but it was more the Snark community that was annoyed at this, which is outrageous considering some of the claims she made. Like, the three ones that struck me were the ones of him claiming that him and Gila were both pedophiles because I guess Gila, which is Ethan's wife, dresses kind of childish or whatever, which it's kind of ridiculous to say that, especially considering, she is not a child and they also have children and they're married. Like, it's such an insane claim. Then there's the fact that even in the apology, she claims stuff such as, so there was a situation where Ethan received human skulls, like human remains in the mail, and she went on to claim that he sent them to himself so he could play a victim card, which is outrageous because he didn't even drag it that much. Like, he never talked about the issue that much. So it just feels like a really weird claim to make. And then obviously there was the CPS thing. That's like the main one that I find kind of outrageous, just because like of the whole situation surrounding it. Like, the talking points where she says, "Oh, I'm directly quoting from Ethan" or whatever. She's either directly quoting Bad Empanada, who is, the person that a lot of people think spread the original rumors that, the CPS was called because it was alleged that Ethan's kids were crawling around in dog poo, which was not true. Like, it's not really what Ethan said. He said that he and his kid, well, Gila and their kids had contracted giardia, which is, something you get from dog feces. And which sounds like, maybe if you like, to the uneducated ear, yes, they were crawling around in dog shit, but when you look into it a bit more, the bacteria stays even after cleaning out the poo. And, you know, as he says, at that age, kids are crawling around and putting everything in their mouth. It's not like they were literally eating dog shit, because they'd be a lot worse. And like, she's terrified of being sued and I guess hated by the wider Hassan community because, you know, it is kind of hard not to talk about Ethan Klein and like the people that don't like him, considering a lot of the reasons people don't like him are political reasons, considering he's Jewish and his wife Israeli. People will be calling her out for a lot of the more heinous stuff. But the funniest thing about this situation is that she claims to be, this deeply well-researched person who every subject she talks about, she spends hours doing research, which I don't doubt. But in this case, the research was done badly. Like, you can say you did hours of research, but if you were just spending hours on an H3 Snark Reddit, it doesn't really work as well. All the research I do comes from like neo-Nazi sources. I'm obviously then going to draw the conclusion that the Holocaust was a hoax, especially if I take everything they say as fact and if I were to take stuff out of context, etc. Yeah, it just wouldn't be a very good look for me because I'm now the idiot who's taken obviously biased sources as a, fact. And one of the best parts in the video that she makes, the apology video that is when she's in this like really depressing wall with like an uncovered like plug socket and she starts like almost crying while reading an email from Bad Empanada, who she calls Bad Empanada, which implies she's never heard of the guy before, which would be kind of hard to do if you were doing a video on the Ethan Klein stuff. Like as I said, Bad Empanada was one of the main pushers of like a lot of the Ethan Snug stuff. And because now I forget what it was, but she'd made a claim, somewhat related to him. And I guess he decided to troll her or something and sends her an email with like a threat saying, if you don't correct this comment, like, I'm going to sue you. These are my lawyers, search them up. And he then claims that Ethan's lawyers were his lawyers. And at this point in the video, she's genuinely like on the edge of tears. I would, yeah, it's pretty fucking funny. Yeah, the main reason this whole community is like pissed at her is because of her, neutrality and as I said, and like the way she talks about the Israel Palestine conflict, which, as I said before, wasn't like I guess was sort of necessary, but not to the level she talked about it. So yeah, I guess like she did in a way have to talk about the conflict, but even then, like she could have just given a quick rundown on like how Ethan is in fact Jewish and Israeli, and that led to a different. Like, she goes on this ramble about how she couldn't talk about the conflict, um, I guess, like, was showing her real opinion because she was scared she was going to get silenced by the algorithm or like false flaggers, which is kind of funny considering that's not really a thing at all. Like, if anything, the main thing she should have been scared of is being sued by Ethan, which she clearly isn't, considering she makes completely defamatory claims that people have already been like threatened with lawsuits over. So like this video to me as a whole is just kind of insane. And then the apology, like weirdly doubling down, it's just so confused. Like you can tell she's just really confused. I don't actually think, well, she is definitely coming from a bad place, but I don't I don't think she quite understands who the threat is here, because apologizing to people who are, I guess, a bit mad at you, I guess it's your own community, so it kind of made sense makes sense. But she is a mother, so being scared of losing your source of income while completely ignoring the fact that Ethan, who is known to sue people who spread, quote unquote false information, which it is false information. I'm saying quote unquote, but to them they consider it real. So she's spreading real information from her point of view. Nevertheless, he is suing people over this, so it seems kind of stupid to then bend over backwards, appeasing the wrong people. Like, if she wanted to make a factual video going over the facts and maybe even still, like, sprinkling a bit of Ethan hate, like, he's not a perfect creator either. Like, there's some stuff that you can call him up on, but she just did it completely wrong. And it's just it's a fucking awful video. And it's almost like everyone involved in this drama kind of agrees this video is pretty terrible. Like, considering she had to make an apology to Hassan and his community, it clearly means that they were unhappy. So was Ethan, and she fixed nothing with the video after. She's just made herself like an even bigger idiot. Now, this is some stuff that could probably make you never come back to the internet. Like, this is basically life ruining. Like, I'm gonna look at her channel real quick. Like, you can see here a bunch of hour-and-a-half videos going over like situate, like, some of these are like 2 hours, and she decided to just like kind of throw it all away in one video. It just seems like a completely idiotic thing to do. And like, honestly, as I said before, like the absolute funniest bit about this to me is just her at her main, like, her little bio on YouTube is, I like doing research. And like, if anything, if anyone's learned anything about her from this, is that she's absolutely terrible at doing research. So yeah, I found that pretty funny. The whole like her claiming she's an amazing researcher and then being absolutely terrible. I'm recording this the day after because I've just seen that uh Ethan debated her, and apparently it did not go very well for her, as expected. So if you guys want me to do a follow-up video on that, or maybe you don't, maybe you want to see some different content, I will. But yeah, all in all, that's a little quick like resume of the entire situation that went down with Cruel World Happy Mind. Let me know if you enjoyed, if you want more stuff like this, or if maybe you'd see me doing some other stuff. I had a lot of fun, like kind of going over like some of the talking points. I couldn't really be asked. Like I've watched the videos, like I've wasted my time watching the videos, and I couldn't be asked, stopping, pausing, clipping everything, and then showing them. But, I went over the main talking points, the stuff that everyone's going after her for. And that being said, I'll see you in the next one.